the Induction Program for our incoming MBA cohort. As we commence this solemn and significant event, I respectfully request all members of the audience to switch off their mobile phones or place them on silent mode so that we may uphold the dignity and decorum of the proceedings. We are gathered here today to formally welcome the incoming students of MBA batch 25 to 27 into the esteemed portals of TAPMI. It's indeed a moment of pride and anticipation as we open a new chapter in the academic and professional journey. We are truly honored to have with us a distinguished lineup of guests. Our chief guest for the day, Dr. Niranjan Kalyandurg, an illustrious alumnus from the batch 1989 to 91, who currently serves as the President Honeywell Technology Solutions. Our guest of honor, Ms. Kirti Timmangaudar, a distinguished alumna from the batch of 99 to 2001, now the head co-lending and strategic alliances IIFL. Joining us as well are our director, Professor Rajiv Kumra, along with the respected faculty and staff of TAPMI. A heartfelt welcome to the proud parents in the audience and to the 563 students of the incoming batch of 2025-27. We thank you all for being a part of this significant occasion. To mark the formal commencement of today's ceremony, may I now request our director, Professor Rajiv Kumra, to kindly escort the dignitaries to the dais for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. One of the student representative, please. Any student from the first years. May I request any parent also to please come up? Any one parent? Thank you so much. May I request you to take your seats, please? TAPMI Management Institute, popularly known as TAPMI, is one of the premier business schools in India, with a legacy spanning over 4 decades. Established in 1980, and named after the visionary Sri TAPMI, TAPMI has consistently been at the forefront of management education. The institute is renowned for its academic rigor, strong industry interface, and emphasis on ethical and responsible leadership. It holds the prestigious double crowns accreditation from AACSB and AMBA, placing it among an elite group of global business schools. TAPMI is a proud constituent unit of the Manipal Academy of Higher Education, MAHE, a distinguished institution of eminence and one of India's leading academic and research universities. MAHE's multidisciplinary excellence, global collaborations, and commitment to innovation continue to drive academic distinction across its various institutions. To help us understand more about MAHE's rich heritage and vision, we now present the MAHE anthem.
शान्ता पृथिवी शान्तमिदं मुरुवन्तरिक्षं शान्ता उदन्वतीरापः शान्ता न सन्तोषदीः शान्तानि पूर्वरूपाणि शान्तं न अस्तु कृताकृतं शान्तं भूतं च भव्यं च सर्वमेव क्षमस्तु नः सर्वमेव क्षमस्तु नः इयं या परमेष्टिनी वाग्देवी ब्रह्म संशिता ययैव ससृजे घोरं तयैव शान्तिरस्तु नः तयैव शान्तिरस्तु नः परमेष्टिनं मनो वां ब्रह्म संशितं येनैव ससृजे घोरं तेनैव शान्तिरस्तु नः तेनैव शान्तिरस्तु नः इमानि यानि पञ्चेन्द्रियाणि मनः षष्ठानि मे हृदि ब्रह्मणा संशितानि यैरेव ससृजे घोरं तैरेव शान्तिरस्तु नः तैरेव शान्तिरस्तु नः पृथिवी शान्तिः अन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः द्यौ शान्तिः आपः शान्तिः ओषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिः विश्वे मे देवा शान्तिः सर्वे मे देवा शान्तिः 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 शान्तिभिः ताभिः शान्तिभिः सर्वः शान्तिभिः क्षमयामोऽहं यदिह घोरं यदिह क्रूरं यदिह पापं तच्छान्तं तच्छिवं सर्वमेव क्षमस्तु नः सर्वमेव क्षमस्तु नः
Ladies and gentlemen, as we gather here today, we take a moment to pay tribute to the extraordinary legacy of our founder, the late Sri Tonse Anantpai, a visionary leader, an educationist par excellence, and a proud recipient of the Padma Bhushan. With deep reverence, we honor his uncompromising vision, enduring passion, and unwavering commitment to the cause of education and nation building. On this solemn occasion, we reflect upon the tireless efforts and resolute spirit of a man who laid the foundation for an institution rooted in purpose and guided by values. TAPMI stands today as a living embodiment of his dreams, a place where aspirations are nurtured and futures are shaped. Let's now take a moment to journey through the remarkable life and legacy of Sri Tonse Anantpai.
Welcome to TAPMI Management Institute, located in the student city of Manipal, Karnataka. Here at the institute, fondly known as TAPMI, we take pride at the academic rigor and business knowledge imparted to our students through experiential and relevant learning. We are sure you, the students, are excited about the next 2 years and all that the institute has to offer to you. From the case-based learnings, simulation games, competitions, and many other engagements beyond the four walls of the classroom. We at TAPMI seek to promote and raise the standard of management education and to create responsible business leaders of tomorrow. But where did it all start? Who nurtured and created this vision for the institute? Dr. T.M.A. Pai and TAPMI's founder, Sri T.A. Pai, built the city and the institute to what it is today with the vision of creating leaders who not only achieve great things, but also resolve to make a difference in society. Dr. Tonse Madhava Anantpai was one of the architects of modern Karnataka. He was an individual who was affiliated with numerous walks of life such as banking, insurance, business, education and healthcare. He was keen on serving the people, keen on transforming and empowering lives through the most basic aspects of social uplifting. He was revolutionary for bringing into the rural tract of Manipal various amenities such as an educational complex, an ultra-modern hospital, small industries, and outstanding banking establishments. In 1925, along with his brother, he set up Syndicate Bank following the motto, "No man is too small for our bank." He struggled for the underprivileged and found avenues to bring changes to their situations. He started a Hindu orphanage during the freedom struggle to house orphan children due to the ongoing nationwide scenario. Dr. T.M.A. Pai established the Kasturba Medical College in 1953 to help provide equal opportunity for all to study medicine. The Manipal Institute of Technology in 1957 was established with a similar agenda and was the first of many more of the same kind. Dr. T.M.A. Pai was passionate about his work and aimed to make a change in the lives of many, something he viewed to be the fulfillment of the vision of the Almighty. He was constantly thinking out of the box and ahead of his time. Dr. T.M.A. Pai believed that a common person has a lot of common sense, and it is transforming this into productive work that helps build society and assists humankind, which is visible in his efforts to transform the barren land of Manupala into the exciting Manipal University Township that it is today. He has set the path of social responsibility on which we are continuing our journey. Sri Tonse Anantpai was the nephew of Dr. T.M.A. Pai and was just as revolutionary and thoughtful as his uncle. One to carry on his legacy, Mr. T.A. Pai was a thinker with a unique personality. Mr. T.A. Pai began his career as a deputy manager in Syndicate Bank, rising to the position of general manager and then managing director by 1962. Under his stewardship, the bank was credited with several achievements. He was appointed as the first chairman of the Food Corporation of India and later appointed as the chairman of the Life Insurance Corporation of India, where he used his unique ideas to develop social infrastructure for the people. As an active political worker, Mr. T.A. Pai was a member of several state and central committees. He was involved in leading projects in diverse sectors such as electricity, education, agriculture, and bank management. In 1972, he was appointed as the Minister of Railways. His innovative and exemplary work helped the industry by leaps and bounds. He was awarded the Padma Bhushan in the same year in appreciation for his outstanding performance. Under his leadership as the head of the Ministry of Heavy Industries, 15 public sector enterprises did very well, practically doubling the previous year's output. As the Minister of Industry and Civil Supplies, he was instrumental in revising the industrial licensing policy and encouraging investment in socially desirable sectors of industry. He founded the Manipal Institute of Management in 1980, which was later renamed as TAPMI. Mr. TAPMI's foresight and enlightened leadership paved the way for unprecedented progress in various industries. He used his vast knowledge to change the Indian economic situation in a positive manner. For him, the people he was solving issues for were not anonymous entities but in fact very real people with complex problems and lives. He had a humanistic outlook and viewed every situation as an opportunity to create value for others. Dr. TAPMI and Sri TAPMI were involved in various fields such as infrastructure, finance, agriculture, insurance, culture, education, and health, all of these which have been united by management. This same unified concept has been carried through the years to build TAPMI Management Institute into what it is today. TAPMI is accredited with AMBA and is one of the only 7 schools in India with AACSB accreditations. These distinguished recognitions are a testament to the vision of our founder and bear witness to the quality of business knowledge provided at the institute. As we progress into 2022, the centenary marker for Sri TAPMI's birth anniversary, we welcome you to the Center of Great Learning, where his ideals and values are imparted in everyday learning. With our mission to excel in postgraduate management education, research, and practice, we lay the groundwork for the holistic development of our students by nurturing and developing industry-relevant skills and fostering continuous learning. Once again, we welcome you to this student-centric institution, where we seek to enable the business leaders of tomorrow.
It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you a distinguished academic leader and marketing expert, Dr. Rajiv Kumra, Director of TAPMI Management Institute, Manipal. Dr. Kumra brings with him over 3 decades of rich experience spanning academia, industry, and global consulting. He has previously served as a professor of marketing at IIM Lucknow for over 16 years and held multiple leadership roles, including Dean of Noida Campus and Dean of International Relations. Known as one of the most awarded professors at the IIMs, Dr. Kumra has received the Best Faculty Award 11 times, 21 awards in the categories of the Best Core Course, Best Elective, and Best Marketing Elective across various IIMs, and has taught at leading institutions across France, Italy, US, and Dubai. His research and case studies are widely published and recognized globally, with several featured as bestsellers at the Harvard Business School. Recently, one of his cases was acclaimed as one among the top-selling IV cases. A trusted advisor to Fortune 500 companies and government organizations alike, Dr. Kumra is truly a force in shaping modern business education. His thoughtful leadership and steady vision continue to guide TAPMI to greater heights. Known for his composed presence and resolute commitment, Professor Kumra exemplifies the qualities of an inspiring academic leader. I now invite Professor Rajiv Kumra to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Yeah, hi, good morning to all of you. No, that's not the energy for the incoming batch. Good morning to all of you. Lovely. So I welcome you on behalf of TAPMI and also on my personal behalf. I congratulate the incoming batch for making to TAPMI. Believe me or not, it's not an easy journey because you have been selected out of 23,000 strong candidates. So let's have a clap for you. More importantly, I would like to congratulate the parents who are the backbone of you. I can see them sitting in the back, smiling and feeling proud, and rightly so. Believe me, I also have grown-up kids, almost of your age, so I can understand the anxiousness which your parents must be undergoing at the same time. But I would like to address the parents that you have given your wards in the very able hand and will make a great leaders out of them after 2 years. I would like to introduce you about the school. So our founder is Shri Tonsei Anand Pai. He was born in January 1922 and he joined Syndicate Bank, but most importantly, he was a chairman of LIC, he was a chairman of FCI, and he was also a Rajya Sabha member, and in fact, he was Union Minister of Railways, and he was awarded as Padma Bhushan. Why TAPMI? Let me take you through the various virtues which we try and imbibe in our students in these 2 years. TAPMI distinction is our alum network, and I will talk more about it. We have few slides on it, but I don't need to impress upon you that when the school has come into existence in 1980, you just must have seen the film just now, and this being a part of MAHE, you can understand the strong alum base which we have, and as you will appreciate, for any school, the strongest backbone of the school always remain their alum. So we are very proud that we have a very strong alum network. We offer a great career opportunities since day one. TAPMI has been fortunate to place all their students 100%. We give global mindset. We strongly believe in international exchanges of the student. We want them to have an ability to lead and also develop an entrepreneurial spirit. What is our mission? To excel in management education, research, and practice. It's just not teaching. We also want to make a difference in the practice of the management. What values do we stand for? Excellence, trust, honesty, innovation, commitment, and being a student-centric school. How does TAPMI look today? TAPMI is ranked among top 20 B schools in country. We are one of the 10 B schools in India to have a double crown, which is AACSB and AMBA accreditation. Let me impress upon you, AACSB is an accreditation which is given by American accrediting agency, and only top schools across the world get that, and we are very proud that we were the first one in the India, thanks to my predecessors. They were very visionary. So my predecessors were visionary and way ahead of the time, and they got AACSB when none of the even IIMs had got it. We are one of the top 15 B schools in India to receive QS ranking. And let me explain you, QS is an international ranking. We have a state-of-art and educational residential facility. We have a beautiful 44.11 acre residential green campus. Thanks to gods, we are on Western Ghat, so it is one of the most beautiful places anyways. We are ranked 58th by NIRF, MHRD, and we are PRME champion, which means we vouch for sustainability because this is given for sustainability. What are the graduate attributes which we want to have in our students is to have a leadership quality, to be a global citizen with a cultural awareness, have professionalism, ethics, and value, social responsible service to the community, have an eye for lifelong learning, technological literacy, initiative and problem-solving skills is what we will like to imbibe in you in the coming 2 years. Which is our biggest strength? Our biggest strength, possibly other than alum, is our faculty. We have a very academically strong faculty. All of them are PhDs, and they're from top institutions in India, and they are very industry savvy. We have a faculty which has a preferred perfect balance of academic knowledge and real-world corporate experience. Our faculties are very active in research. I will be sharing our numbers with you, and they not only publish but also do academic conferences. Our teaching is quite practical oriented because we are aware that ultimately you are going to become a manager. Henceforth, we use a mix of case studies, simulations, and live projects throughout these 2 years. We remain student focused because we assign you a mentor and who gives you a personal guidance throughout the 2 years. More details will be shared by Dean Academics and PGP Chair post-lunch. What can you do other than academics at TAPMI? There are various things which you can do at the core level, area, co-curricular, and entities level. For example, at the core level, we have SEC. You can become a member of SEC, which is a very strong body of a student. Line, corporate engagement, welfare, ARC, LogCom. At the area level, if in case you are very excited about the domain in which you are going to specialize, you can do brand scan, for example, is from marketing, TMF, HR forum, Fin forums, Op forums, TAF, Matrix, which is from IT. Then we have co-curricular activity. We have something like Atharva, Seed, Omega, Treasury, Sportscom, Esprit, Cultural, House of Arts, BRAT, EBSB. And finally, we have entities such as Samnidhi, Toastmasters, LADC, Bloomberg, CCT. You can be part of any of these activities, and they are multiple in nature. So we actually encourage our students to go beyond academics to become a holistic manager. How does admission of this year look like? We had 22,365 applications. Out of that, 6,473 were shortlisted for interviews. And we have admitted boys 282 and girls 281. And total admission is 563. Since a couple of years, this has been our conscious strategy to have a diversity among our students. So when admission chair will present our data in detail, you will see that we have a diversity not only in the terms of the states from which our students come, but also from their cultural backgrounds and social backgrounds, and more importantly, on the gender diversity. We have focused on it, and that is very visible from the numbers itself, that we have almost 50-50% of both boys and girls. This is our conscious strategy, by the way. How does our placement and internship look like? What all help we do for the students? We create various workshops to strengthen skills in GD and cracking interviews. We have role-based mock GDs and personal interviews by domain experts. We have one-to-one live CV review and analysis by experts. We have professional guidance to build a placement preparation roadmap. We have discussion on career paths and options available post-MBA. Apart from that, we are also hiring a lot of professionals this year to revamp our placement strategy. Our top recruiters include, for example, Airtel, Alstom, Cognizant, Accenture, Deloitte, Grant Thomson, JP Morgan, KPMG, Hero, Chrysler, and I don't need to introduce you all these brands. These are the top brands in India. This is just an indicative list, by the way. How does our research look like? I'm very happy to share that our research is increasing year after year. Last year, we have been able to publish 86 articles. Let me impress upon you, there is something called as ABDC listing, which is an Australian business school's dean's listing. So this particular council has categorizes the journals. The topmost journals is categorized as A star, then A, then B, and C. Needless to say, it is very difficult to publish in A stars, and then A, then B, and C. So we track on the very high quality the publications. not just publishing in any other journal. We don't appreciate that. We appreciate only in ABDC listings. So you will see that we have published 86 total, which include ABDC and non-Scopus. Plus this year, till now, we have already 10 publications and 17 being in the publication stage. That makes it 27. Executive education happens to be the most important thrust of our school this year, and we want to increase our non-academic fees from various other options such as executive education. Henceforth, we are very aggressive on this. So we have conducted 55 programs last year where we have trained 2,966 managers from various companies such as including Canara Bank, DCB Bank, Union Bank, MRPL, Ministry of Education, so on and so forth. We have also focused on internationalization. So we have very recently written various MOUs such as University of Southampton, EDHEC in France, Rennes Business School in France, Dublin, and University of Aachen, Belgium University. Then we have University of Montpellier, and there are various others. I think the list is not complete. So there is University of Laurentian University also we recently signed. Nevertheless, we have 12 MOUs and 7 is in progress, so that make it 19. And you'll be very happy to know that TAPMI is a part of MAHE, which is Manipal Academy of Higher Education, and MAHE itself has 250 MOUs with various universities. You name it, they have it. So all the top partner institutions, which are ranking very high on the list, such as across America, Europe, Asia, Africa, and Australia continent, we have MOUs. And at TAPMI level, we have 19 almost MOUs. Because our this year thirst is to increase the student exchange. For example, this year itself, we have achieved 2 student exchange at Rennes Business School for 1 term, but we want to take it to a number of as high as 50 in very near future. And we will also focus on faculty exchange and research collaborations across these universities. What are the various student competitions which our students have won and participated? So our students of TAPMI has secured position in top 10 B schools by the prestigious Unstop platform. We track the cohort wise, which are how many competitions they are participating, how much are they winning, and which is the A category competition and B category competition. You can see that we have a very impressive numbers there. What are the various events which we did last year? We had 12th International Research Symposium in Service Management. We had TAPMI Max Planck Winter School. This is a German Max Planck we have tied up, and we are a partner of them in India. We had that winter school and boosting, which was on boosting informed decisions. International Business Day, that is an IB Day, was celebrated in Feb 2025. We had TAPMI Bloomberg Olympiad. If you're from finance, you will know we have a Bloomberg terminals, 16 in number. In fact, again, we were the very first few schools to have Bloomberg. We had alum meets across various cities in India and abroad, such as Bangalore, Chennai, Hyderabad, Mumbai, Delhi, Dubai, and Canada. We celebrated Brand Scan, which is a part of marketing function, which we did, and where various brands sponsors their projects, and our students try and solve those. Quiz on the Beach is one of the very beautiful property which we have since many years together. So that was celebrated on 2025. TEDx TAPMI was done in 2024. We had TAPMI Toastmasters 24-25. The most important, as I was telling you, we have an alum engagement where we have alum portals for continuous engagement and database. An alum corpus is created by alums for the CSR activities in which TAPMI indulge on behalf of alums. Our total alum strength since 1980 stands at 8,632. Let me tell you, all the top schools, whether in India or abroad, are big because of their alums. So you can imagine if our school came in existence in 1980 and the first batch when it passed out, hardly many schools were existing, because I have a background of I am Lucknow, so I can appreciate, you will appreciate that only 3 schools were existing in India at that point of time. 4 schools. Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Calcutta and Lucknow. So TAPMI is as old as that. So which means that our alums are in top positions, be it CEOs, presidents, and so on and so forth. And as a policy, we have decided that we'll be always calling our alums for various activities, whether it is a guest lectures, induction programs, or whether it is a convocation, we'll only invite our alums. And in that pursuit, and also in admissions and various activities, we involve them. We have a very strong alum committee. And I'm happy to share, for example, the 2 illustrious persons who are sitting on the dais is our own alums. Life at TAPMI is going to be very beautiful, as this picture show, but believe me, you will have a lot of academic rigor also. So I don't know how much of this you will enjoy. So So there is various events which our students have participated, and I have already shared various activities which you can do on the campus. Various festivals, as I told you, we are a very diversified community, so we celebrate each and every festival. And we have a state-of-the-art infrastructure. I have a couple of points to share with you. One thing which is very important, I will fail in my duty if I don't tell you, that TAPMI is a part of MAHE, which is a Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Why I am saying so? Because TAPMI earlier used to be a standalone institution like many of them which exist in India. But we are very proud that a couple of years back, we merged with MAHE, which is Manipal Academy of Higher Education. Why I am saying so? Because MAHE has not only provided us a great infrastructure, finances, but also a great ecosystem. As in, to impress upon you, MAHE has various schools under it. TAPMI happens to be one of it. For example, KMC is a top-ranking 9th school in India, which is a medical school. We have MIT, which is an engineering school, again a very top-ranking school. Dental is a number 2 school in India. MAHE itself is number 4 NRF ranked in India. So you can understand the kind of ecosystem in which we exist. That gives us a great advantage. Why? Because we can have a cross collaborations and a cross learnings from each other departments, which is a very unique positioning of TAPMI. To give you an example, this is the first year we have come up with a very unique course, which is MBA AINDS, which is Artificial Intelligence and Data Sciences, which we have collaborated with MSIS, which is another very strong school of MAHE, and they have been into this field for long. They have a fantastic industry connect, and we have created this course in a very unique way because it has a 6 months of internship. And this is going to be a game changer for India because all other schools, I'm sure, is going to follow. But I'm not sure how much will be able to catch up with us, because we have other schools with which we are tying up, which are internal to us. And not only this, this gives you as a student a great edge. You can not only go and use the infrastructure of TAPMI, but also of MAHE. For example, the kind of marina, which is a fantastic state-of-the-art infrastructure for sports. We have a central library, and so on and so forth. Plus, having a hospital in the vicinity gives us a great advantage of that. And possibly MAHE is the only internationally, I think, or maybe in India, possibly the only few of the campuses which can boast of a truly university campus. This whole of the Manipal township is revolving around the university, which is a seamless. You may see that there are many a times there is no boundaries also around the university. And if you have been abroad, and if you look at many of the universities abroad, this is how precisely it happens. So very few places can boast of it. Another point which I would like to, my suggestions which I would like to give to the students and to the parents is this, that please understand this is your terminal degree. Though this is your day 1, and I'm very happy that you have made to it, but the journey has just begun. You are coming as a raw material to us, and we have to see that you go as a finished, beautiful product, which is accepted by the industry. And that is not going to happen so easily. You have a burden because your parents have invested a huge money on you. Some of them may have taken a loan, and some of the students who have worked or have a working experience must have invested their own money possibly. So this is your last degree. Give it a best of yours. And why I'm saying so? Because TAPMI has an academic rigor. TAPMI is known for its academic rigor since the day 1. It does not mean that it will be overwhelming for you. It is only to make you prepare for the industry. We are here to support the students. We are very student-centric school, but at the same time, we want you to grow. Our objective is that after 2 years, when your parent come for convocation, they must say that you are a changed person. Industry must say that you are TAPMIan, and we are proud of you, because they have been saying the same very thing for our alums. Our faculties are more than student-centric. Their doors are always open 24/7. Our faculties are having a cutting-edge experience, which they bring to the class. So it is up to you that how much do you challenge your faculties, how much do you try and learn from each other. More importantly, as I have told you multiple times, again I'm telling you, you have a great diversity in the batch. Take advantage of it. If you are from commerce, we will see to it that your groups are made in such a way that you will have engineer also in the group. You will have an arts background, you will have a doctor, or you will have some other background person in your groups. Learn from them because they bring a different perspective onto the table. If you are fresher, Be open to learn from an experienced person in your class. At the same time, if you're experienced, look from the fresher perspective. They will bring a different diversity. Try and appreciate the gender diversity which happens in the class, because now you have 50% women power in the class. And in the faculty also, we have a very strong presence of women. Try and respect them, try and learn from them, because they do a lot great multitasking. So you have a great learnings to do from each other. So this 2 years is going to be a very beautiful journey for you. Open your mind and learn. This place is anyways very beautiful, but it has its own challenges. For example, for coming 3 months, you will have a lot of rains. And I don't know how many of you are coming to live in a hostel for the first time. It can be overwhelming if you're coming to live in a hostel for the first time. It can be even overwhelming for some of the parents. But believe me, this is the most beautiful experience which we'll go through. Because if you ask me, look at my age, and the most beautiful group which I really enjoy interacting with on WhatsApp is my hostel group, believe me or not. So that kind of memories you will take in these 2 years. So be open to this lovely, beautiful coming journey. Enjoy, have a great learning. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. It's a moment of immense pride and joy when one of our very own returns, not just as a cherished alumna, but as a leader who has carved a remarkable path in the world of finance. May I request Professor Arunima, Chairperson, Alumni Relations Committee, to introduce to us the guest of honor, Ms. Kirti Timmanagoudar, TAPMI alumna of 1999-2001.
Thank you, Professor Aparna. June 21st, the summer solstice, is indeed the longest day of the year in the Northern Hemisphere, and it holds a significant meaning across cultures, and often this is considered as an auspicious day for new beginning and abundance. Good morning, everyone. Respected Director, Professor Rajiv Kumra, distinguished guests, esteemed members of faculty and staff, proud parents, and most importantly, our enthusiastic MBA batch of 2025. We are truly honored to have with us today a leader whose journey perfectly embodies the spirit of innovation, strategic vision, and impactful leadership that TAPMI strives to instill in its students. It is with immense pleasure, and I introduce our distinguished guest of honor for today's ceremony, Ms. Kirti Timmanagoudar. Ms. Kirti is currently serving as the head of co-lending and strategic alliances at IIFL India Infoline Group. She currently manages over 10,000 crore of co-lent portfolio of IIFL Finance, a retail-focused NBFC. She is at the forefront of redefining lending paradigms, driving IIFL's strategic shift towards becoming an asset-light entity by scaling partnership with all the leading banks such as DBS, DCB Bank, Union Bank, Canara Bank, South Indian Bank, and many others. And what makes this moment even more special for us is that Ms. Kirti Timmanagoudar is one of our very own proud and distinguished alumna of TAPMI Management Institute, holding MBA in Finance from the batch of 1999-2001. Her career, spanning over more than 2 decades, includes leadership roles in private equity, affordable housing, equity research, and management consulting. Prior to IIFL, Kirti was an entrepreneur and was managing affordable housing PE fund called Brick Eagle. She has also worked as consultant with Frost & Sullivan, and her campus job way back in 2001 was in equity research with First Global. She is also recognized as an industry game changer. In 2022, in the prestigious BFSI Game Changer Summit, she was specially invited, and recently she was also invited as a key speaker in NBFC Leadership Conclave 2025 held at Mumbai. Beyond her professional success, Ms. Kirti continues to give back. She actively teaches personal finance to young adults and supports initiatives to address homelessness in India She is also passionate in farming and fitness. I have recently identified that she is also an agricultural entrepreneur. She had initiated a non-government organization called Desi Grains that promotes native cereals and pulses. She lives in Mumbai with 2 teenage daughters, Diya and Tara, and her husband, Sujay Vasudevan, who is also an alumnus of TAPMI. Ms. Kirti reaffirmed that what we at TAPMI have always believed, that our alumni go on to not only create wealth, but also bring meaningful change to society. She exemplifies the core values that TAPMI stands for: excellence, integrity, innovation, and social responsibility. We all know that there has been an increase in women workforce in corporate for past years. But when it comes to women in leadership roles, we are still at 18%, and she is one among them. Her presence here is a reminder that the possibilities ahead are limitless and that the foundation built at TAPMI can lead to truly remarkable paths. It is with great pride and genuine warmth that I invite Ms. Kirti Timanagowda to take the stage and address the MBA batch of 2025.
Thanks a lot for that kind introduction. And more importantly, thanks a lot for having me here and giving me this opportunity to come back to my alma mater for such an important occasion in your lives. Dear students, teachers, professors, director, chief of guests, and everyone that I've missed, a very good morning and warm welcome to the batch of 2026. So it was about 26 years ago, June 1919, I was exactly in the same position as you guys. Probably most of you are not even born then. Anxious, excited, both at the same time. So what I'll do today in the next few minutes, I'll take you through my life through very specific examples, right from the time I got a admit offer from TAPMI till today. How my life has been, and share some anecdotes that may help you in the next 2 years and later in your professional working life. Before I start, how many of you here are from small towns and villages? Raise your hands. Okay, that's quite a few. So I come from a really small village, 1,200 people there. So when I came to campus, I was like, I wasn't sure what to expect, right? So you think you're from small town, you don't know how people from Bangalore, Delhi, the colleges they went to, the schools they attended were very different. But just from the very first week itself, I won't say day because it takes some time to get used to here, I was made to feel at home. I have friends from across, like Ms. Arunima was saying, I even found my husband here. So it was a fun 2 years for me. I hope it's the same for you guys too. So the day I got my admit from here, you know how relatives are. Some of them were telling my dad, you know how Manipal is? It's notorious for its rich and spoiled kids. There are things that happen here I don't want to mention at the beginning. So, are you sure you want to send your daughter there? This is especially for the parents here. Before I came here, I spent 7 years in my boarding school. I can tell you this is more strict than my boarding school. So your children are in safe hands. It's a beautiful campus cut out. At the same time, I would like to believe the entire Manipal is a campus. TAPMI is just one portion because you're all part of Mahe, right? So that happened. And then once you start here, you are grouped into, I think we were called groups. I think today it's called FAS. So you have your smaller groups and 2 groups come together. So the groups that were created for us, the school created it. And actually thank God for that because you don't know anybody when you come here. So the college makes a very informed decision in terms of how to split groups. It's a blessing in disguise. At least for us, the entire first year, these groups remain the same because the subjects are same in first year, right? And I'm still really close friends with my groupies. At least a couple of them I meet at least once or twice a month. So these are
cherish for life. Okay, and I will next come to my first assignment that was here, which was a group assignment. It was called Dharwad Drilling Society. It was about a borewell equipment machine. I don't exactly remember the details of that. Guess what was the highest grade that we got? I mean, we all did terribly on that. The highest grade was B minus. Okay, so don't lose your heart. I'm sure, you know, the very fact that you've gotten here means you're all A plus students, right? Forget B minus. There was Pitabas Mohanty's one assessment we had. The highest was 0 because he had negative marks. Okay, so that doesn't say you're bad or anything. It just sets you for your future that it's okay sometimes, you know, even 0 is better than negative marks. So you probably got an A plus because you got 0, right? So it's all relative. So that was my initial years. I mean, initial time here. And then end of the semester, you have, you know, you have these, we used to call Boston Tea Party. I don't know if you still have. So we have that? Okay, so no, we don't. Okay, anyways. The point is, academics is important. Director already stressed a lot on that. And I'll give an example why it's important. At my campus placement, we had First Global. Shankar Sharma, who's the founder of that, he himself was here. He came in a hurry-burry, and 30 of us had applied. It was a small batch, remember? We were like less than 100 students in our batch. So he was in a hurry, and he didn't really have time to interview all the 30 students that applied for a job. So he just said, come in the order of your ranks, right? So the 6 of us who went for the job, you know, were the only ones who could even give a chance for this placement. Having said that, ranks are not everything. I was in the top 10 when I was here, but I'm honest enough to say today, if you look at my classmates, I may not be in the top 10 earning, you know, amongst my batch. There may be students in the 40th or a 50th percentile who probably are earning twice or thrice as much as me. So life changes, so don't get, you know, disheartened if you're not in the top 10 or whatever those grades matter. But what really matters is you excel in the subject that you choose, right? If you decide to focus on a career path, just choose activities that will help you in that, especially if you're a fresher, if this is your first, you know, if you haven't worked. Joining committees, you know, taking part in those competitions, each of that is an experience. When I was here, I was part of brand scan and sports committee, right? So for me, I did not have any experience. I was a fresher. I'm sure at least 30-40% of you here probably haven't worked. But that will not give you any disadvantage as such, as long as you make these little experiences that count and you actually learn from it, not just for your CV. Speaking of Sportscom, I was a member. The beautiful infrastructure here. There are a lot of facilities. Now that we are part of MAHE, you get access to all the facilities that are there. So don't make your life just about studies and, you know, just spend at least 4 or 5 hours each week taking care of yourself, your health, fitness. I learned swimming here. You know, I participated in a lot of these competitions. I used to run every day. I had a really health freak roommate, Manisha. So she encouraged me at least twice or thrice a week. We used to go to endpoint, come back running. So just get into some health activities because academics can be stressful. What I've learned is there are beautiful podcasts out there, whether Spotify or YouTube. I know most of you use your headphones and AirPods, whatever. Just put it on, go for a walk for half an hour every day. You know, you're not missing your academics at the same time you're getting your steps and so on and so forth. So after my beautiful 2 years here, I was lucky enough to get into my dream job, so as to speak, right? Again, going back to the campus placements, the placements happened during October, November 2000. That was the best of times. And you'll see how things can change in 6 months. November, December is when we got placed. Economy was booming. Everything was nice. And then come March, April, the recession started, right? Some of us, in fact, just a couple of the offers also got either withdrawn or they got postponed by 6 months. So in 6 months, life changes. You may be the topper of class, you may have the best job, but things may change. I was all very happy. I got my dream job, so I moved to Bombay. I had a company, provided accommodation. The office was just an hour or so. In those 6 months, after I got my job till the time I joined, a lot of things had changed at my company. You can look it up later. It's called First Global. Unfortunately, it went through its ups and downs. So when I was working, actually my boss was in jail for 2 months for no fault of his, but for whatever reason. So things happen, right? You get into your dream job, you think this is what you want to do for next several years, but I didn't even last there for a year. I wasn't enjoying it, so I changed. So in the first 3 years of my life, I did 3 jobs. Not the ideal outcome, right? So it's fine. When you're young, you're not sure what is it that you really want. After changing 3 jobs in 3 years, the next job was at Frost & Sullivan. I stayed there for 8 years. I would have stayed longer had my husband not moved cities because of his job transfer. Okay, so, life is like these 5 fingers. None of them are same. So all of us are different. And, sometimes things happen. We just move with the flow. Just coming back to academics a bit. So I majored in finance. There was no specific major minor as such. The more subjects we chose, that became our specialization. Today I see that you have some very specialized courses, whether it is banking, financial services, or international business, etc. One point I want to make here is, I was a BCom graduate, so I had it in my mind, I want to do finance, I want to do investment banking, I will only do finance, right? So I don't want to look at HR, marketing, sales, etc. But one thing we all should remember is, everything, end of the day, is a sales job. Okay. I realized this from my second job. I used to work with this really smart investor called Porinju Veliath in Cochin. We were managing portfolio for HNIs at this company called Geojit Securities there. It was a small assets under management. We hardly had 5-10 crores, right? So that time, the minimum investment for a PMS was 5 lakhs per investor. Today, I think it's 50 lakhs. So when I joined, Porinju started his own company. It's called Equity Intelligence. He manages more than 2,000-3,000 crores today. But imagine we just had 5 crores to manage. And that's when we said, okay, now that we're starting this new company, let's go and raise some money. So I was like, no, I didn't sign up for raising money. I can't say that, right? If you don't have money, what do you manage? So I actually spent the next 6-12 months going to investors, raising money from HNIs. So we did actually raise about total of 20 crores of AUM. And I think that gave us a really good start. So not only do you need to be good at your core job, which for me was equity research, which was basically picking stocks where you need to invest, but you should also be good at convincing first your boss that it's a great idea. Actually, no, first your parents that it's a great idea, that to join TAPMI, then your boss that it's a great idea, and later your investors or clients or whatever. Also, what happens as you go up the ladder, be it any job, you have to sell. You will have revenue targets. You will have sales targets. For example, I'm a relationships person. Ms. mentioned that, I manage 10,000 crores, so that's a target, right? So when you work at a consulting firm, you need to bring business. So end of the day, it's a sales job. Now, how you define sales may differ. So just focus a lot on your communication skills. Be confident. Be an expert, so the confidence will naturally come in. After my initial, those 3 years, I worked at Frost & Sullivan. It's a research and consulting company. Again, there I was all very happy. I thought, oh wow, this is, a consulting job. It's all, done and dusted. I can retire here kind of a job. And then you go and you realize it's not just a consulting job. I was managing 120 analysts. So you are pretty much an HR/operations person in addition to being a consultant and analyst. Because managing people is very complicated. It's a lot more complicated than making Excel sheets and, saying which company is good to invest in stock markets today. So your first year of MBA is very important because you don't specialize. It's a common subject for all, right? So don't just say that, oh, I'm not getting into operations, let me not pay so much attention. I'm never going to have an HR career. So each of these will come to save you at some point of time. So after about 8 years in Frost & Sullivan, I then moved, I was moving to Bombay because my husband got he changed his job there. This company was Brick Eagle. It's a startup. So it was very interesting journey. The first few years were all glitter and glamour and, raising money, being covered by Fortune magazine and newspapers. And then 2018 happened where there was liquidity crisis. We were in affordable housing. So I don't know if you guys are probably too young to track. So liquidity was a concern, and then we had to wind down our company. So the peak of your success can also bring you down. And some of you at some point will become entrepreneurs. You may start your own company or you may join some startups. A piece of advice I have for you is, especially if you take on some, let's say, what do you call those responsibilities, like regulatory responsibilities. Let's say you become a director on a company. There is a lot that comes associated with that, okay? So just be very careful what it involves. It all sounds very fancy and nice, but it comes with its own set of regulations and own set of liabilities, etc. So the learnings I had at Brick Eagle, and that followed the next couple of years, was success is not permanent nor is failure. Okay, so you just be prepared for the ups and downs that come true in your life. After Brick Eagle, I just briefly worked for a year and then COVID struck, right? I was about to set up this private equity fund at a small boutique investment banking firm called Amrith, but then COVID struck. And then what do you do, right? When COVID struck, they said, sorry, Kirti, we will not have this division anymore. So you need to do something. Either you need to join the investment banking team or you need to do something else. And I was in fund management, so I didn't want to join investment banking. And this is 2020, mind you. So not many jobs. This is June 2020, as peak as it can get. Again, you need to improvise, right? You need to see what can happen, what can you do. That's when, again, the whole MBA, the whole entrepreneurship mindset comes into picture. I'm very passionate about finance. While I have changed multiple jobs, whether it's equity research, consulting, private equity, but I've stayed true to finance. And I had 2 young daughters that time who were also sitting at home, having their summer break and getting bored. So I actually started teaching young adults investments and finance. I'm sure none of you in school really learned much about finance, right? Like even at home when you want to ask your parents, how much does it cost? How much do you earn? What's the rent? When you're in like, let's say 10, 12 years, your parents will say, you're too young, let's not talk about money. So what I did over the next few months was, I actually taught finance to kids. I actually earned a lot more in those 2 months than what was my previous salary. The point I'm trying to make here is, life happens, you just have to improvise, and you can do better. The only regret I have is I wish I'd continued that instead of taking up a job again, because edtechs became such a big thing later. But anyways, after one startup, I didn't have the heart to just continue to be an entrepreneur. The next one, let me just see what is the other one. Yeah, so the next one is my current job, which I joined about 4.5 years ago. Again, it was, it was a new business unit altogether. IIFL Finance is an NBFC. For those of you who don't understand NBFC, it's like a bank except we don't take money, right? You don't keep your savings account, you don't keep your FDs there, but we do give loans to smaller and middle income groups. So when I joined again, this was my first lending job, you know. Again, I was in the same position as you guys are, much older, lot more experience, but didn't really ever work in a lending industry. So what really helped me was those relationships and those selling experience, because the job position I had here was to go to banks and tell them, look, we are a great company. I need 1,000 crores from you so that I can give multiple small loans to, let's say, somebody who earns less than 3-4 lakhs a year, right? So my boss trusted me purely based on my relationship and my fundraising abilities. I did not have any experience. So the point I'm trying to make here is, just because you start off somewhere doesn't mean you end there. You can change your career. You can change your subjects. You may join TAPMI today thinking, I will focus on marketing, but maybe end of semester to end of semester, trimester 1, 2 or 3, you may feel that no, something else is what I may enjoy more. So just be a little flexible, especially if you're a fresher. And yeah, that's all. These are the only points I had. So I'm just going to end on 2 things. One, chase your dream, not your parents or your friends. Okay, and sometimes the dreams change. What I'll end on is something about this sari I'm wearing today. I wore this sari at my convocation in TAPMI here in 2001. Thank you. So I will say life is like this beautiful Indian attire, which is a sari. There are certain core values that should not change, like the sari. It's exactly the same, right? Nothing has changed. But the blouse has changed because, you put on weight, you lose weight, you have kids, whatever. So keep yourself flexible. I think that's the game today, because your milestones keep changing. When we had joined, I think Gmail was just launched, right? So imagine how fresh internet was. It was just 5-6 years old. Today it is artificial intelligence. Who knows what's going to come 15-20 years down the line, right? So I'll just leave you with these notes that there are some things like your value system, don't change it for anybody. At the same time, be flexible so that you can take the opportunities that come in front of you. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Ms. Kirti, for sharing your experiences. I'm sure the tips would help the students stay at TAPMI more comfortable. Ladies and gentlemen, it's with immense pride that we welcome back one of TAPMI's finest from the batch 1989-1991, Dr. Niranjan Kalyandurg, our chief guest. I now request Dean Academics, Professor Gururaj Kidiur, to introduce the chief guest to us.
Honorable Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Niranjan, Guest of Honor Kirti, Respected Director Rajiv Kumra, my faculty and staff colleagues from TAPMI, students of the incoming batch of 2025-27, parents of the students, a very good morning to you. It's my proud privilege to introduce Dr. Niranjan Kalyandurg, who is currently the President of Honeywell Technology Solutions, overseeing operations in India, Europe, and Mexico. He is based in Bangalore, India. His leadership focuses on fostering growth through innovation and the development of new products in aerospace technologies, industrial automation, building automation, and energy and sustainability solutions. Niranjan has spent 27 years at Honeywell, occupying various leadership roles across business and engineering. He has previously served as Vice President of Honeywell's Aerospace Engineering organization in India, where he led the development of numerous Honeywell products that are now used in Airbus, Boeing, Gulfstream, Dassault, Embraer, and other platforms. His area of expertise include avionics, engines, auxiliary power units, and mechanical components. He also served as the director of Honeywell Turbo Technologies in India, where he established the company's automobile engineering presence in India and secured significant business deals for automotive turbocharger applications in domestic as well as global markets. His role involved collaborating closely with customer OEM engineering teams on product development, manufacturing, and localization. So before joining Honeywell in 1998, Niranjan worked in product management and marketing roles at Digital Equipment Corporation for 2 years and TVS Electronics in India for 6 years. He holds a PhD degree in engineering from the Indian Institute of Science, IISc Bangalore, and an MBA from TAPMI, and a bachelor's degree in electronics engineering from Bangalore University. Niranjan has earned 5 patents and has numerous publications to his name. His wife, Lakshmi, is a very senior professional who is employed in Infosys, and his lovely daughter, Vidya, is currently pursuing her higher studies in Boston, USA. There are not just 2, but 3 alums of TAPMI on stage now. So the third person is me. And I'm extremely delighted to mention that Niranjan was my junior, one year junior. So from 1988 to, I think, 1990. So I know enough about him. And not only that, so my first job was in a company called TVS Electronics. 1 year later, he joined that company. My third job was in a company called Digital Equipment Corporation, and I think 1 year later, he joined that company as well. So the point is, I've spent a lot of time with him. So I know, like I said, I know a lot of things about him. Yesterday when I met him, then with his permission, I'm only going to mention what he has approved. One thing about Niranjan is that he's an excellent people person. He can get along with anyone. I think that is something which has taken him to the position that he's in now. Kirti also was mentioning, people skills are extremely, extremely important, and it has really worked wonders for him. He can establish rapport with anyone. In fact, he was the only one from his batch who spent a lot of time with seniors. Most of the times he would hang around with me. Of course, he had very good friends in his batch as well. He came with some 2 years of experience, if I'm correct. He had worked in Hinditron, and he's one person who was extremely focused, and he was very clear what is he going to achieve out of this course, where does he want to go, and most of the times when you used to meet, he used to talk about his career ahead, and I think that was something which was very, very good. He has an excellent sense of humor. So he likes jokes, and he laughs heartily at jokes. But when he narrates a joke, it is with a poker face. He's dead serious. And he likes Manipal, Udupi a lot. And he holds TAPMI responsible for anything that happens here. So if it starts raining heavily, he calls up and says, "What is this here? It's raining so heavily there." So, and then if there is some accident in the ghats, he says, "What is this here? There is an accident in the ghats." So I have to tell him that, see, TAPMI, our area, our domain is our campus and Manipal, not beyond that. He has a wide array of interests. He can talk authoritatively on many topics, whether it is history, human behavior, philosophy, politics, astrology, technology. He's an avid reader, he reads a lot, and that's extremely important. Being a busy person in the industry, I think today it must be some 1,600, 2,000 people must be reporting to him, but still he manages to pursue his other interests. More than anything else, he has stayed, for us, what is important is he has stayed in touch with his alma mater, TAPMI. and has been an excellent brand ambassador for us and is always there when we need him, whether it is our, see, we have a practice when we do these strategy meetings, we need representation from alumni because we consider them as important stakeholders. So when we invite, he's never said no. Whether it is a participation in the advisory board, he's never said no. So he has never declined any request, and we have made so far and helped TAPMI in many ways. He's a tremendous achiever, no doubt. And all of us are eager to hear him, listen to him, especially those of you who are starting an exciting journey into the field of management to turn out into competent managers. So with this, I present you Dr. Niranjan Kalyandur. Please.
Hey, thank you, Gurraj. Morning. Respected Director, Professor Rajiv, faculty members, my colleague on the stage, Kirti, organizing committee, students, and parents. Thank you for inviting me here. It's really a privilege, and it's an honor actually to be coming and addressing all of you. Thank you once again. Dear students, this morning, I was wondering, 35 years ago, did I go for the induction? And the answer is yes. And I remember I did come for the induction. I hadn't yet got into the hostel. That was later in the evening. And maybe I remember I just had a notebook and a pen, and I came for the induction. I didn't know anyone. I also didn't know what to expect. Well, I was really very excited. And frankly, that 2 years of my stay here actually made my entire career. And again, as Professor Rajiv mentioned as well, today whoever friends I have, I have a WhatsApp as well. It's all from people from TAPMI, also from my engineering college. So let me, first congratulate all of you, right? The fact that you are here means you really worked very hard. You have been very dedicated, and you're ambitious. And so, really it's an achievement, and congratulations to you and your parents as well, because they have been, supporting. So I really didn't know what I should talk to you today. But then what I thought is, just by magic, right? Just maybe I drank that water, right? So it's got some magical properties. Let's assume my age comes down to your age. And I joined TAPMI. And I'm sitting there. The only thing is I retained my 35 years of experience, right? And then what is it I would do? What is it I would do better? What is it I would do different? And so I thought, if that was the case, let me just go through that. So is that okay? Is that a fair? Okay. So I have a few points. I have a few slides. Yeah, thank you. Let me first start off by saying, all of you will be very successful, extremely successful. You know why? Here, can we share the screen? No. The reason is, if you just look at India, right now we are about 3.75 trillion is our size of our economy. By 2030, it's going to be 7 million. It's a huge growth. And if you want to really look at how this growth means, look at any industry, or look at any shop, or look at anything, even any shop here in Udupi. If you don't do anything, just do the same thing what they are doing this year, by next year the revenue will increase by 6%. You can then imagine, if you have strategies, ideas, you will, double-digit growth is very, very easy for several companies. So the growth is there for us for sure, and 6 to 6.5% growth is truly, it's a very, it's a high growth rate, I would say. So I think the fact that our economy is growing is a very major, important point. The same with, our per capita income. So the way it is right now is about $2,200, $2,250 per person, which will go to $4,500 by 2030. Huge growth. There's one part of this which I don't like. By end of the year, by 2030, out of every 1,000 people, 24 people will have cars. That's a major growth, right? I mean, I hope the infrastructure picks up, but there's a lot of growth. Again, when you look at it from an age point of view, demographics, in this room, I don't know, we'll remove some of us, but folks less than 25 years, 42% of the country have people less than 25 years. We have so much of opportunity in terms of our demographics. The question of getting a job, not getting a job, I mean, there's no way you will all not get a job. You will all have jobs. It's about what job you would like to choose. That's the advantage we have. Again, you also need checks and balances. And one way to look at checks and balances is to look at the stressed assets in all banks, and you can see it reducing. So really, it's a very strong economy. Also, for us, the fact that how every state improves is a part of our prosperity. And believe me, on the right side, you will see some colors. I don't think you can read it, but if you look at all the parameters, say poverty, infant mortality, literacy, per capita, all of that, if you see, maybe about 5 years ago, there were more reds and yellows than greens and yellows. And in the next 5 years, 10 years, I'm sure you will see most yellows and several greens. So I'll conclude by saying that, as far as growth is concerned, you really have a very good opportunity, and the country is well poised for several jobs. I'll now go to my second point, right? This is in terms of applying theory learned in a practical manner, always have applications, for whatever learning you do. That's very important, because in 2 years, you're getting into an industry. And so the more you start looking at what you are learning in a practical way, the easier and the better it is for you. Example, let's say, you are reading contracts. You want to really go, you figure out how, for a tender, how a contract is written, read the entire thing thoroughly, right? Understand that pretty well. It will really help you. You will know exactly what a contract is. You can always look at it in Google, or you can get it on the internet, but more important is to actually go and really see how companies bid for contracts. Similarly, in terms of, all your plans, your marketing plan or your production plan, your finance plans, all of this today are in companies in ERP. You won't find a paper document saying this is my plan. So when you ever have an opportunity, to visit through your friends or, relatives or to any industry, just go and see if you can actually see the ERP systems. On the marketing side or the sales side, it will be salesforce.com, or, there are several tools, SAP. You want to go in, open the system, see how these plans, all link up to each other. Important because it will give you a very good perspective from a practical point of view. The third is, I think we discussed, the professor also mentioned, and Ms. Kirti also mentioned, you need to enjoy, learning in a multidisciplinary manner. You see, the moment you start saying, I'm going to learn for the exam, you have lost the whole game totally. You got to learn for the sake of the subject. And, you have to learn in advance so that you don't want to study last minute before the exam. I'm saying all this because I used to do that. I used to study just before the exam. So I'm saying that's what we should not be doing, because you'll really do it much better. And I remember when I did my PhD, there was a professor, we did research methodology. I think the first day when we got to the class, one of the members, a student said, how will the exam be? What is the type of, all he said is, don't worry about the exam. I will give you 50 questions. Just read those 50 questions. I will ask 8 out of them. So I think we were all very happy. And some of us also said, okay, I'll learn 10, you learn 10, we'll kind of do. But actually, every question was connected to each other, and unless you read the whole subject, there was no way you could answer these questions. But that was fun. Actually, that's when it gave me the understanding that how important it is to know the whole subject. See, while you may get into one domain, let's say finance or marketing, you really need to know everything else, how a company works, because they're all interrelated. I'll give you an example of building a house. When you build a house, what happens? You have people who will lay the foundation. There are people who do bricklaying. There are folks who are very good and who are dedicated, in plumbing, in carpentry, in electrical works. But every one of them know exactly at what phase, at what stage the building is, and who will do what before and after. Right? That's the same thing when you do your MBA and when you get out into industry. You really need to know all disciplines inside out while you specialize in one. Same, when you look at CEOs today, is all CEOs engineers? No way. Are all of them finance people? No. You have a mix of people from different disciplines, right? So that's the need why you really want to understand the whole, all the disciplines. The other most important thing, I think, the professor I saw also mentioned, you need to have a problem-solving mindset. And when I mean problem-solving mindset, again, this is something which I learned, which I wish I was not. I was more of an individual player than a team player. And that doesn't work. When you have a problem, first of all, you need to have a positive attitude. It will work. I will solve the problem, right? That's the positive aspect. And then you have to be curious as to see what are all the causes of the problem. And then bring the team together from a creativity point of view, and then help people think out of the box. And then you collaborate together as a team before you make a decision. So it is very important when you are in your case studies and when you're doing it in the next 2 years, work as a team, collaborate, you will be able to solve problems quicker and faster, and that learning will help you down the line. You really want to speak very good English. You need to have very good spoken and written English. Again, I mentioned about 42% of the people in our country are less than 25 years. Throughout in the world, people are becoming older. I'm sure many of you will travel abroad, right? You really want to have that expertise. Practice, in case you're weak in some area, and it'll be a very good thing. So that's an important point in terms of your knowledge in speaking and written English. I'd also want to bring AI here because in the last 8 months, I'm really amazed with the knowledge of with the power of AI. I am also worried. What I have understood now, I have in my phone, in my computer, a couple of, I have both ChatGPT and Gemini, and I've realized that it is beyond, it's a textbook of any subject, anywhere. You don't need anything else. At the same time, what I'm worried is, I can make reports like this. I don't need to depend on, some of the people like, some people, departments who sit and do analysis. I can do it myself like this. That's the power. But what is important is for us to be above that by understanding the depth very well and knowledge in the area. Otherwise, this can overwhelm us a lot. So I would want us to, at least when you are studying, you will make use of ChatGPT for many things. But I would want you to be a bit cautious. Use it as a reference rather than, a means, right? That's the way you would want to look at it. One important point for all of us, at least if I was in your shoes, is developing confidence and being absolutely fearless, right? When can you not have any fear? At least, for me, I remember when I had not prepared for an exam, I was always very afraid. But if I knew the subject in detail, I had absolutely no fear, right? So that's where you want to understand what, your preparedness is. You really want to prepare very well. If you know how you can prepare well, it reduces your fear. At the same time, know your strengths and weaknesses. So that's important, right? When you know your strengths, you play to your strengths, but don't ignore your weaknesses. That weakness slowly, little by little, take small steps and try to see how you can overcome. You want to get out of your comfort zone always. The only way, for you to overcome is by getting out of your comfort zone. I'll give you an example. I was not very good in probability and statistics. Really, it was a very tough subject. I think it is a tough subject for many people, right? I have never met a person who said probability and statistics is the easiest subject. He must be a genius if somebody had said that. But that is the essence of research. And so unless you know that very well, it's difficult when you want to do research. And so, slowly I started tackling that subject, and it took me a while though, but I'm okay now. Again, I will close this topic out by saying that be confident. You can always learn from your mistakes. If you make a mistake, no one will remember, right? You don't want to, you really want to stretch yourself. If somebody feels public speaking is challenging, go and speak. You can practice in front of the mirror, but it is of no help. You really want to go and talk somewhere, and once you do it once or twice or thrice, you're done. You're out of it. And so I would encourage you to, get the confidence and overcome whatever fear you would have. The other part is leadership. Again, I think it's a core, value here in TAPMI as well. It's often mistaken that there are only a few leaders. No, we are all leaders. Everybody is a leader in our own right? And the definition of leadership keeps changing. So it is not, a leader is who today? A leader is a person who has a vision, who sets a vision along with the team. Maybe I'll give you a good example. Take cricket, take Rohit Sharma. Of course, he's not the captain now. When he was the captain, when he would go to play, he would set a vision along with the team. On that particular pitch, I have to score, let us score 300 or 275. That is the number, right? And then he would bring the team to ask the team, saying, okay, is this number fine? And everyone agrees, and then they would go after that. And he would empower the team. He would empower the team, saying that, you guys go play your game. Don't play like this, or you just be yourself. You just play. But if there was an issue, right? In case there was an issue where too many wickets fell, that's when, you would take control. It's always the case. Even the same thing, if you look at it from, the other example I have and I've noticed is mountain climbing. The leader is the person who is always behind, because he's looking at the others. After setting the height where you would want to go, he's helping support the team. So I think the point I would like to leave with you is we are all leaders, and leadership is, the definition of leadership changes continuously. Don't mistake leadership to, some of our political leaders, and that's not leadership at all. They would like people to think they are leaders. It's not the way. I mean, people will, based on what you do, will say whether you're a leader or not. This is a very important aspect in terms of being guided by principles, ethics, and values, right? Principles being, it's something which we all look at, being honest, being fair, respecting other people's views. And when you look at what ethics means, they are, when you put morals to principles. Business ethics, as an example. What are typical business ethics? I will never take a bribe for any order, right? Or I will not accept gifts, or I will not give gifts for favor. They are all business ethics. Medical ethics, another example. What do you have in medical? Doctors will not share their data with others. It's very ethical. Professional ethics. I'll give you an example. This I'm a little disappointed, actually. Well, last week, so for the last 2 months, I've been looking for a leader to lead one of the businesses. We interviewed the person accepted the offer, signed, he came to our office, we, looked at what should be done, everything done. And then he was supposed to join last week. And then he sent some message saying that, you know what, in my company I've got a better offer, they have given me more money, and so I'm not coming. So that's not being professional. When you decided, when you accepted the offer, you take it. So it's always important that we remember and keep those ethics in mind. And then values. Each one can have different values, right? For some people, working is a value, morning to evening. I just have to be working. For some, yeah, I can work, but family comes above all. That's a value. And for people, nation can come above all. Like for example, our armed forces, family comes second, nation comes first. So honorable. Again, you can have a value saying that whatever happens, my education will be for lifelong. Again, in terms of compassion and kindness. So if you bring these things in your daily life, right? If you have any problem, if you just keep this in your background, it makes it very easy. It is also it makes it easy for you to make decisions as well. Again, a point which Kirti mentioned and also Professor, you really want to be spending time with different people. And I remember when I joined, the first thing I would do was hunt for a tribe similar to me. Gurraj was close because he's from Karnataka, I'm from Karnataka. Right? We all used to hang around together. Is it a good thing? Yeah, but maybe it is not a good thing as well, because you really want to meet with different people. You want to really understand how other cultures work. I'm not saying that in India we have a different culture, but as people, if you meet someone who's completely dissimilar to you, spend a day with that person, you will learn a lot. It will just open your mind. I've seen it at work. I just spent some time when you're traveling, going from one place to the other, in different countries actually. You will learn so much when you start working and interacting with people who are completely different from your culture. And you want to go and look at it, because human nature is that, we tend to come closer to the people whom we know. But if you are able to break that, you learn a lot. The other very important thing, this is something during my time when I was a student, I didn't realize the importance, right? You want to learn from entrepreneurs, not from people like me. I have worked in the same company for 27 years. I haven't taken any risk. I don't know I have a safety net. I don't know what an entrepreneur goes through. But when I meet with entrepreneurs, I talk to them, I get an understanding how they look at it. They do marketing, they do sales, they do finance, they do administration, they do everything themselves. And to be in that environment is really something very, very helpful. So I would recommend that, if you have an opportunity, spend time with an entrepreneur. You'll learn a lot in the process. I'll close out. Again, this is a point where, we have one life, and this is a beautiful place, by the way. You have beaches, you have mountains, you have forests, but from what I hear, you have a lot of coursework which you should not, which will prevent you from going, but maybe on a weekend or so, do it. I mean, you need sunshine, you need to play, you need to, have that. And this is, again, as I said, if you spend more time in this place, Guraj mentioned, I like to come here very much along. I do, I come with my wife these days. We go more to the temples, but also to enjoy nature here. So spend some time balancing your academics, right? So it's always good. Let me close out by summarizing, and then, and then I'll wind up. You remember you will be successful, and to do that, you just want to see what is happening in India. It's really growing, right? And so you will really do well. In your next 2 years, try to, when you learn something in theory, apply it practically. For that, you may actually have to move out, go here, meet with people, go to industries, but do that so that, you can get the practical aspect. When you learn, enjoy across, multidisciplinary, very important. Do problem solving, have a problem solving mindset, but with a team, along with the team, not alone by yourself. Just get everyone involved and solve the problem. Be good in your speaking ability and your writing ability in English. It is very important, especially in the global environment. Be fearless, have confidence. Nobody will say anything if you made a mistake. If you make a mistake, good, you learn from it. I come from an aerospace background, right? For me, when in product development, we do product development. If the product passes the first time, I will be very disappointed. It has to fail, finally pass, because you really want to understand all the failure modes. So failure is always something which you will learn from practicing leadership. Again, there's not one leader. We are all leaders in our own right. So, you want to practice that aspect. Be guided by your principles, ethics, and values. They are very strong. They're important, really very important. And then you need to have a diverse outlook. You need to work hard. You really need to work hard, right? Today, I think most of us in the industry, I'm sure, even in academics, if you do not put 8 hours, 10 hours, you will be left behind. You really have to work hard. And you balance whatever, we are doing in doing some exercise and going out and things like that. So I thought that let me, use my time to give a little points which I have picked up during my career. And, if I think that if somebody had told me this during my time, it may have been helpful, but I may even have forgotten, I don't know. But, if this is, I hope this is useful, and pick up whatever you think makes sense, and best of luck, and really congratulate you for coming here to this institute. It's a big deal. Do the best you can. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Niranjan. It was very interesting to have placed the students in the perspective of being in India at the right time. The time of growth, and reminding them the plethora of opportunities they would have to grab. Now it's up to you, students, what you have to do with these opportunities. Make use of the 2 years at TAPMI and shape your future. Each year, it's with great anticipation and enthusiasm that we welcome a new cohort of students at TAPMI. The richness of perspectives, experiences, and aspirations that our students brings create a vibrant and dynamic learning environment. To present the profile of the incoming batch of 2025, we are pleased to invite Professor Vasant Kamath, Chairperson, Admissions.
Honorable guests on the dais, our director, Dr. Kumra, my faculty colleagues, students, parents, and my staff colleagues. It's a privilege for me to basically introduce and welcome the batch 25-27. Before I start, I just want to reiterate the story so far, right? So this year we received 22,365 applications, after which we shortlisted, we conducted around 6,500 interviews. The interviews were held in Delhi, Mumbai, Kolkata, Chennai, Manipal, Bangalore, and Hyderabad. We had Aspire series, faculty connect webinars, and everything. And of course, over 10,000 messages covering all emotions exchanged in Telegram and WhatsApp groups, okay? I've taken the liberty to highlight some of the key comments that were there in, the groups. Whilst some of the applicants felt jittery, hello, can somebody send me the email? Where is this anti-ragging affidavit? I'm unable to find, right? Somebody was like kind of very excited. Is anyone traveling from Raipur to Mangalore on 19th and 20th, right? Somebody had his own problem. Sir, if a student converts another college after submitting the hostel and mess fees, will the same be refundable? Right? And then started the panic. Okay? Sir, you mentioned that the new wait list will come by Monday, but it's already end of the week. Sir, should we wait or lose hope? Please reply that it would be helpful to make future decisions. And, after some time, at least some colleges are moving slowly. TAPMI is not even moving at all. Even gym is moving, right? So, yeah, there are many more things, okay, like this. And then some people finally, when the wait list started to slowly trickle down, hey guys, I received an offer today. Did you check your mail? Right. Amidst all these, something very interesting was also observed. That is, people who didn't make it, right, suddenly became brand management gurus and, started to write this is just diluting the brand, blah, blah, blah. And then I was, personally for a moment, I thought, what is happening? Then I just checked the profile of the applicant, figured out that his wait list is, somewhere way back. Unnecessarily he is trying to, create confusion amongst the crowd. So I had to write him politely that, I saw your profile, I don't know what you're talking about. And next minute he just disappeared from the Telegram group, right? So, two important messages that caught my attention, which are my personal favorites. At a time when people were basically, in a panic mode, kind of tensed, right? There were some people who tried to keep it cool. Look at this. Somebody says, can we at least know why the wait list didn't move on Monday as promised? Right? Response. ये राज भी टैपमी वालों के साथ चला गया. Right? Amidst all that chaos, there were still some individuals who found, to keep the group entertaining like this. I don't know if it's a good place or not, but RCB won, guys. Let's enjoy this moment together. Right? So it has been a crazy adventure for me, being the first time as a chair. I had been in the admissions department before, but I'm managing it for the first time. So this year, total intake is at 563. Okay? All right. If you look at the ratio, it's something like 1:40. For every one person, who's made into the portal of TAPMI, 40 broken eggs. Remember 3 Idiots? Yes. All right. So first, I would want to appreciate and thank my team admissions before I get into the data. So I was participating. I was well helped by my team, starting with Captain Dwarika Tiwari, Mr. Naveen. Right? Everybody knows Naveen. He has been patiently handling all the queries. Surabhi from Bangalore, she has been very instrumental in helping us out, especially in the Delhi center. Jyoti, Charlotte, and Reena, who have been the backbone, silently coordinating every single aspects of admissions, huge traffic, lots of calls every day. They have been managing it like clockwork. In addition to them, I have my team AdCom, the students of Lime, right? Lima, Amulya, Ishika, Sanat, Gaurav, Pawan, Anu, Rajashi, Devika, Smriti, and Asha. These were the ones who were handling your queries, your WhatsApp and all these places. So I'm really thankful to each one of them. Now coming to the batch profile 2025-27. As far as the gender diversity is concerned, 50.09 and 49.91. I don't know where we missed this one person extra. But anyways, just look at the people around you once, guys. This would be your friends, right? Your extended family for the next 2 years, maybe friends for a lifetime, and also your toughest competition in the next 2 years, right? So I welcome you all. When I look at the educational background, we see we have a good mix of arts and commerce, science, management, medical sciences, and all others. Right? So this is going to be a very diverse crowd. Try to learn from each other. As mentioned by our honorable guests, they bring in new perspectives. Try to appreciate and understand that. Work experience, 326 below 11 months and 213 with an average of 24.6 months. The average age of the batch is around 23.13 years, right? So college and professional, you're somewhere in between there. Geographical diversity, we have representation from 25 states with 60% coming from Karnataka, UP, Maharashtra, Kerala, West Bengal, and Delhi. So this is how the geographies are spread out. Now time for quiz, okay? This is a tradition that we follow every year. So now that you're there in the WhatsApp group, right? So what's the most common name amongst ladies in the class 25? Shreya. And how many Shreyas are there? Number. 7. Tala for a reason. Right? Okay, what about men? Aditya. Okay, great. So with this batch profile, I would, also be failing in my duty if I fail to acknowledge the guidance of Pro VC MLHS Mahe, the director and the director's office, the dean administration, associate dean administration, and the admin team, the PGP team, the branding team, the IT team, all my program chairpersons and faculty and staff colleagues who have been instrumental in every stage of admissions. I thank you for your wholehearted support and expect the same cooperation going ahead. Right, now it's my time to hand over the students to the PGP office and welcome on board, guys. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Vasant. That was a very interesting quizzing. Made the students stand on their toes. In today's times, that is defined by increasing stress and complex challenges, the importance of mental well-being alongside physical health has become more critical than ever. Yet, conversations around mental health often remain clouded by hesitation and stigma. At TAPMI, we are deeply committed to the holistic development of our students. We firmly reject any stigma surrounding mental health and have put in place a strong and compassionate support system to ensure the overall well-being of our student community. We are pleased to introduce Professor Shruti Mayur, Associate Professor at TAPMI and a distinguished academic and practitioner in the field of emotional intelligence and human resource management. A proud alumna of TAPMI's PGDM batch of 1993, with specializations in marketing and finance. Professor Shruti went on to earn her MBA in Human Resource Management from Annamalai University in 2008 and completed her PhD from Anna University, Chennai in 2014 with a focus on emotional intelligence, personality, and performance. She is an ICF certified life coach and holds certifications in emotional skills assessment process from EI Learning Systems, Texas, USA, and in FIRO-B as a developmental tool. Professor Shruti has delivered over 150 hours of management development programs for middle and senior management professionals across public and private sector organizations. At TAPMI, she currently serves as chairperson of the HR-OBC area and is the immediate past president of the TAPMI Alumni Association. She also mentors students as faculty advisor for the Leadership Assessment Program and serves as student counselor under the Wellbeing at TAPMI initiative. Now, Professor Shruti Mayur will give you more information on the well-being support we provide at TAPMI. Professor Shruti.
Good afternoon. Hungry? Or it's an overdose of alumni on stage, off stage? Okay, so congratulations. We have 2 more alumni who are faculty, so you'll be seeing a lot of us. Let me take you into well-being and where it all started. COVID happened 2020, and that's when we realized when we moved into the online space, people were stuck in their rooms, not used to seeing or living with their parents, with their siblings. It became very difficult. And then online classes. So we said we need to help them out somewhere where they can reach out and vent. Do you know the 5 basic emotions human beings have? Anyone? No? What do you think they are? Anger, disgust, happiness, okay, fear, and not love. Love is not the basic emotion. Okay, there's one more. So I don't want to give you all 5 because I'll be doing it in class. But anyway, even 4 are enough to work with. Of all these 4, only one is positive, joy. So God's gift or bane, I don't know. We are all hardwired to crib and vent. We can't do much about it. Okay? So it's fine. So now I'll take you into well-being. Anything like this you feel. I can't deal with being away from home for the first time. Weather is miserable. Yeah. My roommates, oh my God, I don't think I can deal with this. Tough schedules. Why the hell do they have to have classes at 8:45? I don't know. Food is horrible. Idli, vada, sambar. Paneer doesn't taste good. The chapatis are like papad, okay. This place is actually crazy, and why in the God's name am I here? If you're feeling all this, keep calm. It's the new normal. I went through this many, many years ago. I'm not promoting anything here, but luckily I found my spouse also here, so there was a support. He's 1 year junior to Niranjan. So this is more like a family over here. So now that you've come into this family, let's all be like one big family. It's very easy. You get angry at home, you're allowed to get angry here. Whatever is happening at home is allowed to happen here. But you need a place to go and scream and shout. That's where agony aunt comes into play. So I'll be there for you to listen to you, because what is well-being all about? It's okay to be upset. It's okay to be angry. You'll feel stuck also. It's fine. I feel this all the time. Confused, lonely, hurt, you want to cry. And remember, crying is not a weakness. Okay, it's just not a weakness. And it's okay not to be okay. So this is where well-being is going to help you understand that this is life. Our mission when we started well-being at TAPMI was to create a very safe and confidential, non-judgmental space. There are times where you want to come and speak about something random. It need not be academics. It could be something personal. It could be you just want to break away from your peer group. I've had students who've come and sat and spoken to me about how crazy Squid Game is, and we've had discussions. Yeah, the next season is coming up. Yeah, so I have that same student who messages and says, are you going to watch the next season? I said, of course. So it's a bond that you build over here where you are allowed to speak whatever you want, personal or academic. How does this process work? I'll keep it short because your well-being is in mind. I won't keep you away from lunch. You need to fix an appointment with me because our schedules are a little crazy. Once you enter the TAPMI timetable, you'll realize, which is why I've said, crazy schedules. You can call me. I'll be sending you a letter. Don't worry, I'll give you my number. Or email me. If you want to speak to me, it's between 9 a.m. and 10 p.m. Okay, officially that's how it is. But after sunset and a few, whatever happens, a few glugs, the problems become very accentuated. Yeah, so suddenly everything becomes too dark. You see multiple of everything. It's okay to pick the phone and call. Message me. If I'm doing something, because I have a family also to look to, if I'm doing something, I'll message you back, but I will get back to you. If you want to come and meet me, I sit in KK Pi block on the second floor. S16 is the cabin. You can come anytime. Okay? This is the most important part, our confidentiality clause. Nobody will know what happens in cabin S16 or over the phone. In fact, the director is also not privy to any of the conversations. Unless you want the matter to be escalated because it's bothering you too much, only then will it be escalated. Or if I feel it is beyond my purview or I cannot help you, I will suggest medical or expert therapy. And even there, only with your written consent will I show them your other records. Okay, so you don't have to worry that, I went and told her, will she go and blab? At this age, no, I've learned not to blab. And I've been with the same guy for 31 years. I learned not to blab. Okay? What are your other support systems? The nice thing about this college that I've always liked, even as a student, was we have your fast mentors. So you'll have a mentor for your group, which is a fast group, about 10 of you. So that would be a point of contact. So for some reason you don't want to speak to your fast mentor, it's fine. You can still come and speak to me. But I'm just making you aware of what is available. All faculty members are nice. We're all nice. It's just that in classrooms and otherwise, since you all want to be adults, you have to behave like adults, and we would like to treat you as adults. We're not monsters. Okay? And the third is Student Support Center for the university is there. You will be getting these details by mail also. They are clinical psychologists, so you can go and have those clinical sessions if you really want to. If there is a need that you need to go to KMC to meet a psychiatrist, then even that will be arranged. All again, it'll be nice if the parents would get involved at that time. It's okay because all of us have breakdowns. There's nothing wrong. It's not a stigma. In this mad life, a little more madness is always welcome. Okay? This is one reel that has been going on in Instagram quite a bit, and I thought I'll share with you before I end. How many of you have seen this? I think many of you would have seen. No? Oh, it's a reel that my generation would be seeing, I guess. Okay, anyway. So this is actually about a professor who's talking to his class, but I happened to get a picture, so I thought I'll put it up. You hold a glass of water, 8 ounces, 250 ml, okay? Hold it for a minute, an hour, increase the amount of time, and start to imagine what you're going to feel. Okay? You hold it for a little bit of time, it's okay, nothing's going to happen. Hold it longer, arm will ache, it gets numb, then your shoulder aches. Basically, nothing has changed. The amount of water is the same, the glass is the same. It's just that the longer you hold it, the more pain you'll have. The only solution you have is to put the glass down. Where do I come in? If you're scared the glass is going to break, if you feel guilty about putting the glass down, just reach out to me, I'll help you do it. With this, welcome aboard. You're in the right place to fulfill the best achievements in your career. All the best.
Thank you, Professor Shruti. Before we move on, we wish to thank our chief guest and guest of honor for being with us today. May I request our director, Professor Rajiv Kumra, to present the memento to Dr. Niranjan Kalyan-Durg as a token of our love and gratitude. Thank you, sir. And now to Ms. Kirti Timmangaudar. Thank you so much, sirs and ma'am. And so, ladies and gentlemen, we have arrived at the conclusion of the formal segment of our induction ceremony. Before we bring this memorable occasion to a close, it is important to express our sincere gratitude to all those whose dedicated efforts have made today's event a great success. May I now invite Professor Bhavana Maheshwari, co-chair of the PGP program, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon. It's my honor and privilege to propose the vote of thanks today. An event of this magnitude is not possible without the efforts and support of a number of people. Therefore, it is important to thank everybody who has made this day possible. At the outset, I thank our chief guest, Dr. Niranjan, President Honeywell Technology Solutions, for his presence and inspiring address. Thank you, sir. I also thank Ms. Kirti, Head Co-Leading and Strategic Alliances, India Infoline Group, for gracing the occasion as guest of honor and her heartfelt address. Thank you, ma'am. I would like to extend our gratitude to Dr. Ramdas M. Pai, Chancellor, Manipal Academy of Higher Education, Dr. Ranjan Pai, President MAHE, Dr. H.S. Balal, Pro-Chancellor MAHE, Lieutenant General M.D. Venkatesh, Vice Chancellor MAHE, and Governing Council members of MAHE for their guidance and support, which has enabled all of us to perform better every day. A big thank you to Dr. Madhu Veeraraghavan, Pro Vice Chancellor, MLHS, and MAHE, Bangalore, for his constant support. We thank all the Pro Vice Chancellors of MAHE and Dr. P. Girdhar Kini, Registrar MAHE, for all their support. Sincere thanks to Director TAPMI, Professor Rajiv Kumra, for his constant guidance and support. We appreciate and express our gratitude to the parents and families for trusting TAPMI and taking out time to be here with us today. We wish you a pleasant stay in Manipal. A special thank you to all my faculty colleagues and deans for being part of the induction process and providing constant support. The support staff at TAPMI is the reason for the relentless service that we receive at TAPMI. Our heartfelt thanks to all the staff members of TAPMI for their unparalleled commitment and support. Special mention to the staff of Program Office, Director's Office, Estate and Logistics, IT, Branding and PR, Accounts, and Admissions. Heartfelt thanks to all the officials and administrative staff of MAHE as well for their support. Special mention, Director General Services, Director Media and PR, Director IT and Digital, Director Finance, and Director Purchase and their respective teams for their excellent support. A special word of appreciation goes to our friends and supporters from the media. A very special word of thanks to the management of Amrith Garden, Udupi, for providing us with this venue to host our induction and their unmatched services. A special thanks to the Alumni Relations Committee, Student Executive Council, and Welfare Committee for helping us with the arrangements. Our heartfelt gratitude to Professor Aparna Bhatt for hosting the event. And last but not the least, a very big thank you to the incoming batch for becoming part of TAPMI family. Once again, congratulations to all of you to making it to TAPMI and wishing you a wonderful next 2 years. All the best and thank you.
Thank you, Professor Bhavna. We have come to the end of the first part of the induction program. Some instructions before we leave for lunch. The afternoon's session begins at sharp 1:45. The audience needs to be seated by 1:45. Parents could join us for the afternoon session. We serve high tea from 4 to 5 in the evening, where only the parents could interact with the faculty. The students would head back to TAPMI campus immediately at 4. It is mandatory for all faculty who do not have classes to stay back until closure at 5. For the lunch, to my left and your right, we have one VIP counter and faculty counter with 2 counters for staff. And to my right and your left, one Jain counter, 2 veg counters, and outside to my right again, you have 2 veg counters. Parents and the students would go to my right and the others would go to my left. We now break for lunch and come back for afternoon session sharp at 1:45. Thank you so much.